Ladies and gentlemen, I think I just found the worst critique slash response video on YouTube. Funny enough, I found this on my recommendation tab a couple of nights ago, and so I decided, you know what? Turkey Tom, just give up. Of course I have to watch that video. So I watched all 6 minutes and 26 seconds of it, and just, you know, I wasn't impressed. I was very surprised at how lackluster this response actually was. And the points that he provided were barely anything. It was very, very pathetic of a response. But you might be asking yourselves, you know, how is it that pathetic? How is it that bad? Well, you know, instead of me trying to explain it to you, let me just go ahead and show you the video and then give you my thoughts about it.
Dude, just give it up. So Turkey Tom finally responded, and his response was very manipulative and worded very carefully to paint Pyro in literally the worst way possible while not actually making and owning up to the mistakes that he made.
Ironically enough, Turkey Tom actually did respond to, to some of the problems with the document. The biggest one being, right, Turkey Tom comparing Kiwi to Pyrocynical.
However, I'm not blameless, and there are two concessions that I'd like to make. Firstly, I'll apologize for my comparison to red kiwis from my original document. That wasn't a fair comparison to make. I had some friends of mine reach out to me about that at the time that I released the document, and you know what? That's completely fair. These two situations are not worth putting side by side, and it wasn't right of me to do so.
To deconstruct Turkey Tom's videos, you have to understand what type of psychological tools that he uses. Full disclosure, I am a psychology minor in progress, and having completed abnormal psychology, it is blatantly clear that Turkey Tom is using gaslighting in the very beginning of his video to devalue Pyrocynical's response.
Did you see what he did there, ladies and gentlemen? If not, let me go ahead and tell you. He's doing the exact same thing that he's accusing Turkey Tom of doing, which is manipulating the audience and gaslighting the entire situation. Why? How? Well, let me go ahead and tell you. Literally the first 30 seconds, he says that he's a psychology minor in progress, which in a sense that it might be a throwaway thing, but if you think about it, it's literally him saying, look, I'm a goddamn professional, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, therefore whatever I say is irrefutable, and the points that he makes revolves around him knowing things that you probably don't know because you're not a psychology minor in progress, or whatever the fuck, psychology major, who fucking knows. But at the end of the day, you big retard, he big brain. Why he big brain? Because he's psychology minor, and he knows a thing or two, but no he doesn't, no he fucking doesn't. Just like watching the entire video, he really doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So if you're watching this, my man, do me a grand favor, get off fucking YouTube and start focusing more on your psychology minor, dude, because literally this is fucking pathetic.
A lot of people have taken his response at face value, similarly to his initial Reddit response. I went into this situation completely anticipating this response because, well, he's Pyrocynical. Regardless of the truth, Pyro is a widely beloved and respected creator, and people want to see him come out from this on top.
Thank you, Turkey Tom, for using such a textbook definition of gaslighting, such as regardless of the truth, people want to see him come on top, that I'm legitimately going to use your video on my thesis for my psychology minor.
So when it comes to regardless of the truth, what is the truth here? What is the truth about these situations? Let me tell you. The truth is Pyrocynical did talk to a minor in a sexual way, okay? In a sexual deviant way through roleplay, which, may I remind you, is, at the end of the day, disgusting, right? The accusation lies, right? The thing that we don't exactly know is that he knew the age. If he knew the age, Pyrocynical, knowing the age of Ivory, and still continued to talk to Ivory, knowing full well that, yes, he is 15, that is a big issue right there, and he should be punished for that, because quite frankly, that is disgusting behavior.
My first issue with Pyro's response comes down to framing and misrepresentation, which he ironically accuses me of in the video. He opens it up by talking about the accusations of grooming and being some sort of predator, and then makes the rest of the video about my document and videos made about my document, as if I was accusing him of either of these things.
And while yes, Turkey Tom is correct here, Turkey Tom's document and video are specifically made as a hit piece to layer on top of Ivory's original accusations.
Okay. And, I mean, quite frankly, I'm really happy that Turkey Tom made a video about this, because if he didn't, it would fall on deaf ears. Because, quite frankly, I believe that he really led the charge. He really led the charge on, you know, this entire situation. Because, again, if he didn't make the video, it would fall on deaf ears. No one would pay attention. Everyone would be like, oh, okay, who fucking cares? All right, it's just, you know, false allegations. Which, and to some extent, it was, you know, halfway false, because, again, he's not a groomer, but he did talk to Ivory when Ivory was a minor in a sexual way. Which, again, ladies and gentlemen, may I remind you, is fucking wrong, alright? Regardless if he knew or didn't know, okay? It's still fucking wrong.
And as for the idea that I twisted it from roleplay into actual conversations about sex, well, that's exactly what it was.
I genuinely can't believe I have to say this. Roleplay is fake and it always will be fake. Again, this is another non-point.
Turkey Tom has his opinion about whether or not, it's fantasy or not fantasy. That's not the issue here. For me, the issue is that regardless whether or not it's roleplay or reality, he had these conversations. He had sexually charged conversations with Ivory, who was a goddamn minor at this fucking time, which that's the biggest problem for me. I think that's the thing that everyone should be hyper-focused on, because everything else is basically irrelevant, right? Because that's just other things that you should be paying attention about. It's this thing that should be paid attention to, because that's the thing that might get him in trouble, and it should get him in trouble, regardless if he knew the age or not, because it's just very, number one, irresponsible of him to do that. You should have asked for the fucking age. That's something that should, like, literally anyone should do. If you're going to do roleplay, right, at least ask for the fucking age and trust that the person isn't lying to you. You can go a step further and ask for the ID, and I highly doubt they would give you a fucking ID. But the least that you can do to be responsible is to do something like that, to ask someone for their fucking age. That's the real problem here, ladies and gentlemen. None of this happened, right? He didn't ask for the fucking age, nothing. He knew the age when he was 16, which still, in my opinion, is kind of fucking iffy, but regardless, he should have asked in the fucking beginning. So it doesn't matter if it's roleplay or not, he still had the conversation with Ivory, which, again, at the end of the day, is pretty fucking disgusting.
This entire quite sizable next part of the video is literally just kink-shaming him. Like it's his life, who cares what he likes?
I'm 50-50 with Bonza here. Yes, I agree. Yet, it's his life, he does what he wants. If it's with consenting adults and behind closed doors, then he can like all the furry farts that he wants. But that's the issue, though. That's the fucking issue, though. He didn't do it with a consenting adult. Well, that's the accusation, at least. And the accusation, again, once being, is he had these conversations with a minor. And also, you gotta admit, it's pretty irresponsible for Pyrocynical with him having that platform asking someone in that regards, hey, do some roleplay, talk dirty, because there will be a lot of pressure, especially for a fucking 15-year-old, alright? So if he wanted to be a little bit more responsible, again, ask for the fucking age and just make a completely different alt account, alright? If he would have done that in the first place, we've all been okay, okay? If we would all be okay, because no one would know Pyrocynical was a filthy furry degenerate, and also, he would know the fucking age. And if he actually did care, he would be like, okay, I'm not interested in role-playing with you, but if he did, it was like, I don't fucking care, that's a fucking problem, ladies and gentlemen.
Additionally, the idea that simply because he wasn't dating Ida at the time, she would have no reason to talk about Ivory's age to him is kind of laughable. Pyro frames this as if they were barely friendly at the time, when Ida clearly says that they were calling every other day in DMs, and we can see group chats from this time when they were all together.
Again, this is just another non-point, because you gotta just realize normal people just don't talk like this to each other. Ida had no idea that fucking Ivory was doing this with Pyrocynical, so why on earth would it just be like okay to just talk about private conversations like this? If you're a normal human being, you don't talk about private conversations with other people. It's just something you don't do.
This is another instance where Bonza is trying to manipulate you and trying to think that no one has conversations like this, that no one ever dares to talk about another conversation they had in another DM. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break it to you, alright? You probably already know this. You probably already done it, right? But this happens all the fucking time, alright? But what separates you from a decent person or from a shitty person is you either drop the name or you don't drop the name. So you can talk about a conversation that you have, like, oh, this information's actually pretty juicy. This tea is actually pretty good. I want to tell it to my other friends. So you tell the other person, right? But the difference is whether or not you tell the name or you don't say the name, right? So if you don't say the name, you're fine. It's like, oh, I heard from this specific person, yada, yada, yada. And then if you say, Anakin Skywalker killed a bunch of younglings, I mean, that's not shitty, if you said that, because that's horrible for Anakin to do that. And so in this case right here, when it comes to Ida telling Pyrocynical about the whole situation with Ivory talking with him in a sexual way, she could have done that, okay? She could have literally done that. That's just out of common sense and common decency, alright? Regardless of if they were dating or not, alright? And yes, they were talking prior when these conversations were actually happening between Ida and, and Ivory, right? Ida and Pyrocynical were talking, amongst each other, all right? So it would be perfectly normal, right? I would assume, I would hope that Ida would have the common decency, the common sense to be like, hey, Pyrocynical, you probably don't want to be role-playing with Ivory because he's a minor. He's 15 fucking years old, okay? And with these, group chats that they have, it's quite possible, quite literally possible that, interactions like this could have happened, right? So you can't fucking say that this is impossible. People don't talk like this. Normal people don't talk like this. No. Normal people absolutely talk like this. You ever heard of a thing called gossip? Fucking rumors? Jesus Christ, man. This is a terrible, terrible way of trying to manipulate people. Like, honestly, if people actually believe this point, they're so fucking brain dead. Literally so fucking brain dead. They might as well be actual sheep. Not people. Actual fucking sheep.
Stating that it was a public event, and a lot of people who Pyro didn't know were invited as well. This is all irrelevant. Do you think Ivory would have just flown home after a night of underage drinking?
This is so ridiculous. This is obviously intended like, hey, you want to hang out? There's nothing more. You're grasping at straws at this point.
No, I think he has an absolutely fair point when it comes to this, all right? Because here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, alcohol makes you a little stupid, all right? It doesn't make you think straight, all right? If you drink a little too much, you go from like, oh, I'm a little tipsy to, okay, I could do something really fucking stupid right now. So the chances of Ivory and Pyro, right, they had conversations before in a sexual way, in DMs. The chances of that being translated in a verbal way when they're fucking drunk could be very likely. And then verbal conversations turning into more sexual acts like touching each other, or, something even worse could possibly happen, all right? Especially with Ivory being intoxicated, especially with Pyrocynical being intoxicated. From what I've heard, that's not the case, okay? I'm not here to say that absolutely happened, no, but I'm saying that could have happened. It didn't happen, but it could have happened. It's not out of the realm of, impossibility. It's there. It could have fucking happened, all right? Even those like, oh, they're just there to be friends, all right? No, that could have still fucking happened, all right? Things like that can lead into something more sinister, and my god, if that actually happened, if Pyrocynical actually had, real sex with a minor, with Ivory, when he was still a minor, oh my fucking god, it's time for a revolt, alright? It's time for an apology from all of you motherfuckers, because goddamn, what are you gonna try to defend him for? It's like, oh, he didn't know the fucking, that's a fuck, no, shut the fuck up, shut your bitch ass up, alright? Don't be fucking retarded. If this actually happened, there'd be probably people out there trying to defend him still. Absolutely ridiculous. But again, I'm not saying that he actually did, but it could have happened, regardless. So the point still stands, alright? It's still fucking fair.
I've said that Pyro was irresponsible with his platform and deserved to be called out for it. No one was doing it, and now people are excusing it again simply because he responded at all. The community at large is made up of spineless fools who will constantly flip-flop on issues rather than actually having a solid opinion. 1 minute he's completely innocent, 1 minute he's framed by the public. It's just pathetic.
Through this entire video, I've continually disproven your points, saying that they were null points, that you're gaslighting, and you're just trying to paint a picture.
Through this entire video, you've done nothing. You've done nothing to disprove anything about Pyrocynical. Literally, what you just did was just, no, that's not true. No, that's not right. No, and you said a little bit more, and then that's it. You didn't really give a good response. Literally, all you did was piggyback on the fact that you're a, psychology minor in progress. That's literally all you did. You piggybacked on that shit, expecting people to eat that shit up. I'm not saying that you're not, I'm just saying that you're trying to manipulate the entire audience into believing that Turkey Tom is trying to gaslight the entire situation, and he's, trying to manipulate the audience. Which, again, at the end of the day, I think that's what Bonza is literally trying to do, is to manipulate the audience and to gaslight Turkey Tom himself. And it would make sense, because he would know how that works. And I say he doesn't. He still has a lot to learn. You still have a lot to learn, all right, my mans? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I know everything, I'm a professional and shit like that. But when it comes to this video, it's quite clear that you literally have no fucking idea what you're talking about. If anything, you're grasping for, straws out of thin air. You're trying to grab something out of your ass when there's literally nothing in there. It's quite honestly really fucking sad how you really thought you did a great job of this. You did it. You did an absolutely terrible job.
And I want to make something exceedingly clear. I don't make commentary videos to grow. I make them because I want to get my opinion out and heard. I'm not like Turkey Tom where I want to dick ride controversy and trending topics to success. That's just not what I want to do.
That is so fucking annoying. I thought we were beyond this. You know, people was like, I am holier than thou. You know, I do content because of this, so therefore I'm a better person than you. Shut the actual fuck up, all right? Let me break something down for you. Let me tell you some truth here, all right? No one gives two shits why you're doing fucking YouTube in the goddamn first place, all right? Whether it be chasing for clout, it could be for the money, it could just be, again, just making the content. No one fucking cares. As long as you make the goddamn content and know your fucking place, then no one's gonna say anything. Unless you decide to, you know, be shitty and try to, you know, manipulate people, which is literally what you're trying to do right now. So I don't even know why you even brought that up in the fucking first place. That is just you standing on a fucking soapbox, alright? That's you riding your holy horse into the fucking crusades. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this video is absolute garbage. I love the fact, you know, if you look at the description here, Turkey Tom's response is garbage. No, your fucking response is fucking garbage, alright? It is so fucking empty. It's so outrageous. And the fact that so many people watched this video and was like, yeah, I agree with that. Agree with what? He said nothing. He said nothing. This is so fucking stupid. I really hope, I really want to see him respond to this video and to see if he actually says anything, or to say one thing that he can piggyback on and then, you know, say absolutely nothing. Say like 2 or 3 words and then call it a fucking day. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, but at the end of the day, that's all I have to say. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Bonza has a point, or do you think that Bonza is the actual scumbag here in this entire situation? Let me know in the comment section down below, but regardless, that's all I have to say for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification to be notified of my next video. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.